The Illinois State Fairgrounds might be quiet right now, but in a week, they'll be saying it's showtime.
It speaks to so many aspects of the fair, right? Whether you're a livestock exhibitor coming to compete at the Illinois State Fair, arguably one of the largest stages to compete at from a livestock exhibitor standpoint, to the circus, from everyone, from my team to the exhibitors, it's showtime.
This year's theme, It's Showtime, encapsulates the atmosphere on the fairgrounds beginning August 8th. From the rides and carnival games on the Midway, to animal exhibitions, to live shows by acts including the Jonas Brothers, Lil Wayne, Keith Urban, and Miranda Lambert, and the Butter Cow, there's something for everyone.
We're doing what we can to allow you to create memories that will last a lifetime without breaking the bank.
Of course, it wouldn't be the state fair without food. Clark says this year there will be vegan dishes as well as gluten-free and lactose-free options. Vendors will also participate in a culinary contest beginning August 9th, with voting starting the next day.
We encourage you to come out and try all of these new delicacies and vote for your favorite.
But maybe the biggest addition to the fair, 200 people are set to take the oath of citizenship on August 14th.
They are grateful and they want to enjoy their citizenship, and I think the best place to do that here in Springfield is during the Illinois State Fair. Go enjoy the corn dog afterwards. Go see the different events that are happening that day. And so I think it's a wonderful opportunity that has been provided through the Illinois State Fair.
Just some of the many things to look forward to at the 2024 Illinois State Fair. In Springfield, Max Cotton, WGEM News.